guys? Another night here with Wortrh Talk, and tonight I have a very special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name is V. Well, my actual name is Veronica, but I go by the name of V. And I am 30 years old, married, and a mother of two kids.
It used to be AOV, right?
Yeah,
That was
back
a
in
lot
the
of time
days.
ago. Back then when I used to know you, was it middle school? That was
Yeah.
like your Facebook was
Yeah,
AOV?
Facebook, AOV,
Right,
yeah.
right, right. So quick little announcements, you guys. So we are getting into the holidays. And I know we have a lot of families out there with kids, couples going on. If you guys are looking for photographers, I have two special people for you guys. The first person is going to be, his Instagram is called Rojo Photography, ROJO Photography. That's my good friend Daniel. I have done personally some work with him with my daughter, and he takes amazing pictures. He's very punctual on time, very punctual on the editing, and he gets you great results. But for whatever reason, if he is occupied and he is busy, I have someone else for you guys. And his Instagram is called J Lew Shots, JLEW Shoots underscore. His name is Jordan. I've also done some work with him as well too with photography, and he is again same results, punctual, very good when it comes to getting those pictures taken. Great sceneries, great editing, all those things. So if you want good results, those are the two people to go to. Shout out to both of them for having to do pictures for me in the future and in the past. So tonight is we're gonna talk about marriage. It's something that's very, very, very kind of belittled now in our day and age. I mean, we have so much going on in social media where we have people that are misogynistic, and we have women that are so hell bent on being independent, where they feel like they don't need a man or they don't want a man, and they miss the point of what marriage really means. And now, V, you've been married for how long?
It's gonna be 10 years next
10
year.
years?
Yeah,
You've been married 10 years. But how long have you been with your husband?
12 years.
12 years. So together 2 years, married 10 years. What was it like the first day you guys got married?
Oh, I mean, we were already living together, so I mean, it's just the paper, that made it official. You
Yeah.
know that, But other than that, I mean, but it felt really good too. You actually now, you guys become one person. It's not just boyfriend and girlfriend. It's something serious. I mean, it was already serious, but it just takes it one step further.
So do you feel like it brought you guys closer? I mean, because I know when you get married, did you guys do it through a church or
We did it both.
did it both?
Yeah,
Okay, so then
both.
obviously there's the being together from the uniting together between you two guys, and then uniting together under God.
Right, correct.
Do you feel like those brought you guys closer together,
Of
or were you
course.
guys already kind of established the way you guys were?
No, to be honest, we were a little crazy. It was bad
Yeah.
at first, but I feel like it started. It did bring us together differently. Like it was different.
Okay.
We both just it made it more like, how can I say, like, you guys just become one, and you guys take it more serious. It's not like, oh, we can break up anytime and who cares? He does his life, I do my life.
Right,
Now you
right.
think about it and you're like, oh.
Yeah, you can't just break up
Yeah,
and say that's it.
there's a lot of things going into that if you want to separate from each other.
Right, right. Now, you guys just recently had two kids, not too far along from each other on age, but from the time before that, you guys were always trying to have kids, or was it like a point in time where you guys were just like happily just not being with any kids and just living your life? Did you guys do anything extraordinary? Did you guys have a honeymoon or anything like that?
Honestly, we didn't have a
No?
honeymoon. Until this day, I still tell Aaron, like, hey, when are you going to take me on my
He
honeymoon?
owes you a honeymoon.
You owe
now.
me
Yeah,
one.
he owes you.
But no, actually, we were living our life, but we always said that if kids became part of our lives, then we will take it how it is. But we did try a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen. We went to doctors, and they said, oh yeah, you can have kids, but we don't know when. Or some would tell me, no, you can't have kids. It's better if you just take your uterus out and
Wow,
just
really?
deal with that. But we kept going strong, and we're like, one day, if God allows us to have kids, then we will have kids, and if not, then we just not meant to have kids.
Yeah. So what's it like now having two kids? Not just one, because when you guys had your first son, I mean, it was already a handful, but now you guys have two kids. But I know that's something that you guys really wanted, a boy
Yeah.
and a girl.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody wants a boy and a girl. I
Yeah,
feel like that's
yeah.
something that everybody wants, but I mean, It's very challenging becoming parents. I had friends, you're a parent yourself,
Yeah.
and it's different from like what you expect, but it's very beautiful. It gets a little stressful having two kids because I had them right back to back. Me being home all the time with them, it does get a little challenging sometimes, but I feel like I wouldn't change it for the world. Like now, I don't know what the heck was I doing when I didn't have kids, and
Yeah,
why did we
right.
say we were tired when we didn't have kids? And now that we have kids, it's like it's a different
Well,
life
I'll tell you what we're
experience.
doing. We're going to some clubs. Remember
Oh,
that?
yes,
That was those some fun
that's true.
times,
Yeah,
man. That was some fun times
yeah,
for
they
sure.
were.
But now, obviously, it's harder to do things like that when you have kids, especially two.
Oh yeah, it is.
And you really, it's all about time management, and it's all about even if you wanted to go out, who can watch my kids for me? You know what I
Right.
mean? And you don't want to be doing that all the time, and that's any parent because it's like you feel like a burden asking all the time.
Oh
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And even if you have supporting grandparents and stuff like that,
You're
still
like
it's
you
just
don't
like
want to take advantage of them.
exactly.
Yeah.
And excuse me. Obviously you have a very supportive husband who works really hard, and I know that makes your life a lot easier as well too.
Yeah.
Because even though he comes home tired from work, he still does his part as a father to your kids and kind of gives you a little bit of a break when you need it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Because people don't understand, like even staying at home with your kids, that's a whole job on its own. You
It
know what I
is.
mean?
Some days are harder than others, but I mean, I think like everybody else, we just work through it.
Do you have them on the same like sleep schedule, or is it?
No, actually, we don't have no schedule. You know how some parents be like, "Oh, from time to this time we have them." No, like usually Adelie, she sleeps like around 8:39. I can start seeing her like she's getting sleepy. Abraham, like maybe after 10. But I mean, I don't really have my kids on a schedule.
Okay, it's just if they fall asleep, they fall asleep.
Yeah,
If
if
they
they
don't,
fall
they don't.
asleep, they fall asleep. I mean, sometimes I'm like, go to sleep, and it's already 12. I'm like, I want to go to sleep, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
Okay, all right, that's cool. So, did you when you had your daughter was your most recent? Um, how was she at night? Was she one that wake up a lot to eat, or was it she slept more through the night?
She was bad.
She was bad.
Yeah, I thought Abraham was bad, but no, this
Oh,
girl
really?
was
Really?
like, she would cry for everything. I was like, what do you want? Like, she had a lot of colics. She would just like not want to sleep, and if she'll sleep, then definitely like 2 3 hours later, I will have to get up. Like, I
Okay.
kind of start getting.
I hope you made Aaron get up sometimes.
Yeah, he actually did. I mean, but I
Okay.
try not to, especially during the night because I know he had to go to work. So
Yeah, yeah.
I try to be like lenient with him, obviously.
You gotta just put that right down the middle. Trust me, I had to deal with it. There was arguments in that late at night. Now, like your turn to get up.
No, I know. I've heard a
Arguments.
couple
There was
couples say
arguments.
that.
So, before I get back to the marriage, I want to talk to you a little bit about your vlogging and YouTubing because you've actually been doing it way before I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get your input on, what got you into it and doing it for so long. What benefits have you seen from doing it? Because I mean, you do have a following with this vlogging, and I've watched your videos and I enjoy watching them. And I know sometimes it's like up and down for you on doing it. So so tell me what's the best part about doing it and what's the hardest part about doing it?
So the best part about doing it, I mean, I enjoy doing vlogs. I love bringing people along and showing them like what my day looks like with my kids or whatever I'm doing that day. It's fun. It's a way for me to distract myself and just be able to like, have some fun. Believe it
Right.
or not, I'm pretty sure you enjoy doing this
Oh,
as
of
well.
course, I
So,
really do. I really do.
it helps you like a little bit on how you feel.
Yeah.
And then I can't say it's bad, but the hard part, I mean, so the hard part will be that the editing. It's
for
kind of
sure.
one of the hardest things to do. I hate it, but I mean, it's part of it, you
Yeah.
know? And I can say that there is some bad part about it in a way because then you have people thinking that they know you because of what you put out.
For sure.
So they start judging. And I had a lot of people think or say things that in reality that's not really who I am.
Yeah.
But they think I am because of what I bring them, or how come she doesn't show her husband as much or her
Right.
family, and people don't really know what really goes on.
Yeah, I feel like that's the price that we pay when it comes to being so open about our lives to like the public, because people are gonna feel like they have a right to say what they want to say, which in a sense I guess they do. Everybody's
Yeah.
obligated to their opinion and stuff like that, but it's like being so open about your life, people feel like you're right, they know you, and now they can chime in on what they feel you're doing wrong or you're doing right. Like your example, why aren't you showing your husband more? Well, that's not what my vlog is about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff
Or
like
maybe
that.
he doesn't want to be part
Yeah,
of
hundred
it.
percent, 100%. I mean, even when I do my videos, I mean, I keep in mind I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have to make sure that have everything in my head ready to say, because I mean, stopping and starting and stopping and stop, it's just a hassle. So I actually try to run my videos straight through, which is why you see me in my videos stutter a lot, because
like,
I'm just like, but I catch myself really quick to get back on track, because
Yeah.
it's like I'm trying to shoot it in just one shot, and it's like,
And you don't want to make it like you're making this up or you're like
yeah, no, for
role-playing
sure,
all
for
this,
sure. So one thing I'm very expressive about is that these things are either things that I experienced, I did, I suffered through, or whatever, and these are not just things that I'm just feeding off from TikTok or
Right.
social media or whatever the case is. Like, these are actual things, my thoughts, my beliefs, whatever, about the things that I'm talking about.
And
So
something you've gone through.
yeah,
yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm a big advocate for some of the things that I talk about, because it's like I was, even like I was suffering through a lot of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you and Air were not in the backboard when it came to the stuff that I was going through. You guys were firsthand saw a lot of things that I put myself through, I put other people through, and kind of just like where I was from there to where I am now. Like, you're a perfect example, because you got to see where I started from and where I'm at now, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it's definitely a price we pay with that. Do you do anything else besides vlogging, or is it just the vlogging?
I mean, I do sometimes TikToks. I'm trying to,
Yeah.
and some reels, but that's really about what I do, really.
Is there anything else that you want to go above from that?
I mean, eventually, like, well, I want to do a podcast as well, but I I think I just think about it too much and I just don't focus, and that's the reason sometimes of why I kind of like take my breaks in between like doing vlogging as well. I do suffer sometimes from a little bit of depression and anxiety, so
Right.
it kind of like triggers me sometimes being a mom, and then I feel like so much with family and stuff, like it gets to me. So
Do you feel like there's not enough time in the day to do everything you need to do?
yeah, I mean, some days my kids are like they're both crying at the same time, and I'm here like a mess, and I'm like, shoot, how am I gonna vlog this? Or
Yeah.
like, what if I do vlog it? Which I've thought about it, like, oh, let me vlog it, but then I don't want them to think like, oh, she's a bad mom, she's letting her kids cry.
Yeah,
But
I think that's maybe just something that you're gonna have to like find like a happy medium for, because no matter what you post, people are gonna have something to say,
Yeah.
regardless.
that's true.
Even me, like, I've been very very vulnerable in my videos, and I haven't had any really bad feedback yet, but
Right.
I know eventually I will. The more I get into this, the more people start following me. The more people are gonna feel like hell, I got more figured out now. Like, I
Yeah.
know.
Or you don't know. You might have people that are already judging you, but they're just
Probably,
not gonna say
hey,
it to
but you know what?
face,
And like, you know what? That's something that I've always dealt with since high school, is actually people that or have this like mask on in front of me,
Right.
But when they're not around, or I'm
Then,
not around, they're just saying stuff about me, which is
Yeah.
obviously common. I don't really care at this point in my life anymore, because I mean, I've lost so many friends, and I've gained good friends, and I have like a small circle of people in my life, and
Right.
words don't really mean anything to me anymore. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's
They're
true.
just words. So if I let words affect me the way people let other words affect them or stuff like that, like I feel like I'm just more weak minded. Like, for stuff like this, you have to be very strong minded.
Oh yeah,
Very
definitely.
strong minded, because words
do.
can.
Really trigger some
Because
people.
cyberbullying is a big thing, and
Oh,
people
yeah.
are just vicious on the internet.
Definitely.
But one thing I did want to also tell you too is, when it comes to posting, is the consistency has to be there. We have to like post constantly
Yes,
to get
we
that
do.
following, because honestly, even on TikTok, it takes just one right person to watch a video of
And
yours and it
yeah,
blows up.
that's
But
true.
you can only do that when you're constantly posting and constantly in somebody's feeds and stuff like that. And that's the hard part for me too, because I try to do my videos every week. But man, with life and my schedule and everything I'm doing right now, it's just
It
it's
can get in the way a little bit. Yeah.
a lot of bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and it's bad. So I can only imagine later on in the future when I do have a significant other and I want to get married and
Have
if
more kids and
they
stuff.
have kids
Oh
or
yeah.
whatever, because that's that honestly, like that's kind of like where I feel like my life is kind of like in the in the route of, because it's for me, I feel like it's hard to be in a relationship with somebody that has
Kids.
no, it doesn't have
Oh,
kids.
that doesn't have
Yeah,
kids. Oh, because they can't relate to you
they
in
can't
a
relate
way.
to my situations. They can't
Right.
relate to my time management, my scheduling, stuff like that. Someone that does have kids, they're more like, oh yeah, I've been there, done that. I
Understanding.
understand that stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
where I feel like eventually I'll end up, and I'm okay with that. Like I have no
Yeah.
problem with that. But, obviously this is the life that I built for myself. So obviously I
Right.
just work with it however I can. So yeah, vlogging is something I've always wanted to do too. I actually tried to do it when I was in high school.
Okay.
And
And you're like, okay, so now
that was actually with my ex Jackie. We went through this little phase where we found like a
camera.
little GoPro camera or something like that. So we're like, hey, let's vlog it. Oh my god, like those
You're
videos,
like,
those videos are still on YouTube. Oh
really?
my god, dude.
Oh, you can
I have to
actually.
show them to you. They're so bad.
That's funny.
They're so bad.
I trust me. I have one video that's out there, but I'm not gonna
They're
say
so bad.
how.
But there is, and so after that, I was like, because I was always fascinated with vlogging. I was
Right.
always
Yeah.
fascinated with it.
It's fun.
I felt like my life would be good to do it, but it also be so controversial because you know a lot of my family
Yeah.
drama. You know a lot of it actually,
Yeah.
and I feel like.
But hey, it could bring the views now.
No, I feel like we could get famous because like some MTV would hit me up. Like, yeah, better though, because that type of drama is ridiculous, and I would be interviewing myself and stuff like that. Good. So let me ask you, V, what is the hardest part about being married? And this is a real question because it's like a lot of people like to talk about the happy things, and
Right.
that's great, and it's always going to be there, and as long as you keep a healthy relationship. But what's the hardest part about being married? Married, sorry.
Yeah, the hardest part about being married, it's when sometimes we are not able to like agree in certain things or come to a communication. I feel like a lot of marriages we lack on that communication with each other. And I think that could be one of the hardest part. Or going in the beginning of the phase, I feel like when you're first starting is it's also hard because it's two different people. Let me mind you, we might like similar things, but we're two different people with two different attitudes, and we clash. That's the hard part when you
Yeah.
clash, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna let myself. Well, me neither." And
Yeah.
so that's
And
kind
you
of
guys have to make a decision together with everything. There's like it's like
yes,
the whole point of marriage is to unite two people as one, and going and obviously under God as well too,
right,
but to for better or worse, rich or poor, stuff like that. But these decisions that you guys make together, it's like you're putting in your two personalities, your two different opinions, and have to come with some type of happy medium to come up with that decision.
yeah,
Especially when it comes to like finances, when it comes to the kids, when it comes to whatever stuff like that. I feel like yeah, you're right. That's probably like the hardest part. I haven't been married yet, but I've been obviously in a long relationship. It's not the same thing, but
well, I think it is.
you think so?
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, a
Do
marriage.
you think it's just a piece of paper, or
Yes and no.
Okay.
Like to me, like yes, it is a piece of paper. A lot of people say, "Well, why do I want a piece of paper to make it official or make it real if we already have a connection?" Yes, you're right. It's just a piece of paper, but I feel like it makes it a little bit more like I don't know. To me, it's like more official, you know. But I mean, like you said, you were in a long distance. In a long relationship. It's the same thing. It's just without the title of being married. You know. I mean, you guys are still going through it together. You guys are still trying to make decisions.
Yeah.
As to
Yeah.
different.
And we're living
persons.
together as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For a
I
long time
mean,
actually. Do you think that you? I mean, this is kind of like a dumb question, but do you see yourself being obviously with Aaron for the rest of your life? Like obviously when you get married, that's what the whole purpose is. But
Right.
obviously with the high percentage rate of divorce that happens, and then it's usually after kids. That's
Yeah,
one of the
that's true.
biggest statistics is that it's after kids. I mean, I've known Aaron for the time that I've known Aaron, and he's an amazing guy, and I love Aaron to death. And I obviously I'm not into death with your guys' personal relationship and stuff like that. But when Aaron proposed to you, did you look at him and be like, "This is the one," or did you just feel like you did the marriage because it's kind of like
It
we're
was.
built into that culture, you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
mean, we're it's a thing, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Culture is like you're with somebody for a certain amount of time, you get married.
You want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, yes, I did. The minute like me and Aaron started talking and dating, I'm like, oh, this is the one I want to marry. But I didn't expect it to be kind of that fast. Like you said, it's a culture thing. We started living together. My mom's all like, if you don't get married, then you're dead to me and you can't live
So
here.
she was pushing on you already.
she literally-
How soon though?
I mean, so we moved in, and then like a year after, like during that year, before we were together a year, she was like, "No, you need to get married ready." But I'm like, Mom, give me time. I'm just getting to know Aaron.
Yeah.
Like we moved in, I think like 6 or 7 months after we already were dating. So
How old were you guys?
we were 19.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
18,
That's not too
19
bad.
around
Not too
there,
bad.
yeah. And I mean, it's not that I didn't want to marry Aaron. I just felt like we could have taken our time a little bit longer. But yeah, we literally got pressured into getting married because of my mom.
Yeah.
Which now I think about it, and let me tell you that I feel like it was a perfect time because my brother who passed away, Jill,
Yeah.
was able to be there at my wedding, and then a month
beautiful.
later he passed
That's
away.
beautiful.
So
Yeah.
I feel like it was just meant to be the way it was meant to be.
Yeah, obviously there's obviously no regrets then.
No regrets, but yes, I do see myself with Aaron for the rest of my lifetime, old, or whoever dies first.
Or if he loses his hair first, what about if he loses his hair
that-
first? Are you
that
still gonna be
too.
with him?
Yeah, I don't care.
All right. All right. But 10 years, right? Marriage. What has been the best part about being married?
I feel like me and him got to enjoy each other a lot because obviously we didn't have kids till recently.
Yeah.
So I feel like that has been the best part. We got to know each other in our ups and in our downs, which I feel like a lot of couples nowadays, they don't get that chance. They get together and right away they get pregnant. Or, I mean, I'm not trying to judge at all, by all means, but I feel like they don't have that chance to like enjoy each other as a couple.
No, for sure, for sure.
So-
I feel like now we rush into things so quick,
Yes,
especially in
we do.
relationships. I mean, and to a certain extent, like if you feel what you feel, that's perfect. You know what I
Right.
mean? Sometimes you don't want to fight it. Like I'm the type of person that I'm very expressive. Like if I feel something, I'm gonna tell you. If I start feeling like these feelings for you, and obviously it's like third, fourth day, whatever, I'm still
gonna
gonna
let
tell
you
you.
know, yeah.
I'm gonna let you know because it's like at a certain point, it's like also life is so short and so many things are happening in life right now that it's just like it's scary.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to get on biblical terms, I mean, a lot of things are happening even right now in Israel. These are things that are in the Bible
Right, yeah.
that are happening. You know what I mean? So it's like if you really follow that and you believe stuff like that, then obviously you're worried.
Oh, yeah.
You're worried about what's going on, and it's like life's short. Life's too short. Tomorrow's never promised. So it's like if you like somebody, if you feel like you want to be with somebody, if you have these feelings for somebody,
Let them know.
Let them know because you could miss your shot. And I'm a big believer in you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what I mean. If you like somebody out there, tell them. If you if you want to leave somebody, tell them. Like you know what I mean. Don't be
with
don't
them,
be
but-
stuck. Yeah, don't be
yeah.
stuck. But yeah, like, but it's just like we go through honeymoon phases so quick in relationships, not even marriages,
No,
relationships.
relationship, yeah.
And that's why relationships don't really last that much. And I feel like even again, like I spoke about it in my last podcast, social media has a big toll on relationships right now. Validation, like even people telling you like, oh, why don't you post your husband? Well, you know what? Sometimes privacy is the best.
Yeah.
It's the best healthy thing in a relationship. I mean, I've watched a lot of like even famous people talk about, hey, why do you have such a successful marriage? Privacy.
Yeah,
You know what I
you
mean?
don't
It's okay to
expect
post, your significant other and stuff like that from time to time, but you don't have to be on a rampage doing it constantly. And I see on social media right now, like girls just like constantly posting their guys or guys constantly posting their girls, and they've just been together. But these pictures these videos that they post, you if you didn't know them, you would think they were together for such a
So
long
long.
time. But it's kind of just like that mask that's put on. You know what I mean?
Or you might think that they're living a happy, healthy life.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
they love each other. I
Yeah,
want that. There's a lot of people, oh, I want that. But in reality, they might not even,
they're terrible for each other.
yeah, they
Yeah.
might be fighting 24/7
And
all
that's
the
what I'm
time.
saying though, like validation. People like legitimately feel like they need to get validated on social media. And a lot of it is because people are going through bad things in their relationships. Like they're unhappy with it, and the social media is what keeps them and reminds them like, hey, this is why I was with this person, or like
Yeah.
I need to still be with this person because people think we're cute together or whatever. It's like a
Or
persona
they
and stuff.
like us
Yeah,
together. So,
yeah. And then obviously, there's things that we don't see, there's things that we do see. But I feel like the biggest thing is in a marriage too is like how's the family get along? Yeah, how are you guys'
oh,
families?
yeah.
I mean, I went to your guys' first baby shower, and his family was there, your family was there. Obviously, there was no problems, which was great.
No, yeah.
But is that kind of like a common thing that's always been between you guys and your guys'
Well,
family?
to be honest, our families don't really
Inter-
gather
oh,
together,
okay.
like whether they do their parties and we do our parties,
Hmm.
I mean, they're more than welcome. Like I tell Aaron, like one day, hopefully in the future when we get our actual home, I want to throw a party where we can all unite. But other than that, like when we've come together, like the baby shower, we are no problems. We're always getting along. We say hi to each other.
That's good.
Everything cordial.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then you have two brothers.
Two brothers. Well, three. One passed away.
Three,
Two
and
alive.
yeah,
Yeah.
and your brothers always got along with your husband.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They especially the little one. From what I can say, Brian,
Uh-huh.
he loves Aaron.
Yeah.
He even told me like if I have to choose between you or Aaron, like saving you guys, I'm saving Aaron. I'm like,
So you probably
wow.
marry Aaron too.
Yeah, probably most likely.
That's funny.
Yeah, but they get along with him.
That's good. That's good. Now, after being married for 10 years, do you guys feel like you guys still have a healthy relationship?
Yeah, actually, I feel like now, as we get older and we're in our 30s now, I feel like we are way better than when we were back in our 20s.
Probably.
Yes.
But I think that's the point is to grow with each other, right?
Yeah,
So that's a perfect
it's
example
more
of it.
fun now.
Is
Let me
it?
tell
Is
you,
it?
it's more fun. TMI, I'm gonna say it. Even sex life is more fun now than it was back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more fun and like now it's like we argue, yeah, like I think like everybody else, but I feel like now it's like, she's mad, he's mad. All right, let's get over it. And that's it. Like you continue. So I enjoy I'm better off now. If you tell me, hey, choose between when you were younger till now, I would choose right now.
Yeah. I mean, how old were you guys when you got married?
We were 21.
Oh, that's really young.
Yeah,
That's really young.
21.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fighting,
I
or
believe it.
not.
I honestly
Yeah.
believe it because I know Aaron, I know you, so
Yeah.
it's like so. But yeah, even me, like I want to get married, and that's something that I've always wanted. I actually have a goal. By the time I want to be married, by the time I'm 30, I'm 28 right now.
You still got time.
I still have time, but
We're just finding the right one, Miss Right.
yeah, it is. But like really, like I'm still a firm believer in the beliefs, the purpose, and all those things about marriage. I mean, obviously, like obviously, as I bring myself closer to God, I obviously want to have a wedding under the church and
Right.
unification between the both of us under God, the promise to better for
To,
worse, all that
yeah,
stuff, and
the good and bad.
yeah, good and bad. But it's kind of hard right now, honestly,
it
because a lot
is.
of people, I've talked to some girls before in the past, they don't want to get married,
Oh no, there's
and
so
I
many
have to
girls.
think about that because it's like, do I want to change what I feel and what I want in my life
For the
for the
person.
person? You know what I mean? No matter how good or how bad the person is, like, do I really want to change? And that's those sacrifices that sometimes you have to make, or you can be very selfish and be like, I can't. I'll find somebody else eventually. But then when you have a goal, your time is
like,
ticking.
wait, yeah.
And I'm not saying that like once 30 hits, like I'm cutting it off complete, but I'll be less optimistic about it
Right.
by the time I'm 30. You know what I
And I
mean?
understand because that's kind of like how me and Aaron felt. Like, if we can have kids past 30, like, I don't know if I really want to
You
have
guys
kids.
barely made
you
that
know?
deadline, huh?
Yeah, 28, then 29, and boom, we're here
Yeah.
at 30. So I understand what you're trying to say. You have that goal that you want to achieve before that. But I mean, it's not like you won't take it even if you're at 30 and you
Yeah,
find that right
because like
girl.
growing up, my parents were married, but they split when I was 3 years old,
Little,
and I
yeah.
didn't really see what a marriage was like.
Right.
I just saw them date other men and women throughout my life, and they're not the best examples to go
They
off
like
of.
to
Trust me,
really.
they're not the best examples. So I really don't use any of their stuff as examples. If anything,
Right.
I use it more to correct myself.
You're like, I don't want to be like
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to be like that.
Is there
So
somebody that you actually do look up to that you're like, oh, I really like, I don't know, my aunt, my uncle, or a cousin, somebody?
no, nobody I know is really
Really?
married like that. Only people I really know that's like legitimately married that I've known and seen a little bit of is you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My family has not been like they haven't really been like supportive people when it comes to stuff like that. Like
Right.
I have like, you know, an uncle and aunt that have been together for their whole lives and they just never got married. They don't think that they need to and stuff like that. And I get it to a certain degree,
Right, right,
but
right.
it's like you chase after those dreams, the American dream, whatever the case is. Like marriage is in there. I mean, you look at the '70s and especially the '70s. Actually, the 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 most common lifestyle that you had is that you were a hardworking man. You had a stay-at-home wife. You were married. There was no cell phones. There's nothing like that. So you didn't talk to your wife all day. You got home. There was dinner ready for you, and you had conversations about your guys' day.
Right, yeah.
Now it's like FaceTime, texting, social media,
Yeah.
memes, all this stuff. You're constantly communicating with that person, and it's like when you get home, what do you have to talk
To talk
about?
about.
You know
It
what I mean?
literally
And I'm
does
that I
happen.
want to be that traditional. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna treat the woman that traditionally where it's
Right,
like
right.
if you want you got to stay home and
Yeah. You can't work. Stay with the
cook
kids.
clean and fuck me all day. That's not your main purpose. Like that's not what I want.
No, yeah.
My want is to share my life and combine their life to ours together with our families and stuff like that. But like treat them. If I want to be act like a king, you have to have a queen,
Right.
and a king is always going to treat his queen the best, right?
Right, right.
Before the kids, after the kids, right? So it's like I want to share all those things, but at the same time, I don't want to get caught into the life of constantly feeling like I need to validate anything from anybody. Like if I get married, like yeah, I'll post it and I'll post a person and all that stuff. But a lot of things that I'm gonna do I'm gonna try to keep it as private as possible because I want to
Right.
have that successful marriage. I
Yeah.
want to have a successful marriage like you guys because you guys 10 years strong. That's amazing. You know what I mean? And
I'm surprised.
not a lot of people can say that, especially at our age. I mean, you give or take, you guys are a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
And but still, you know, what I mean, we're in the same age, you know, diagraph
Range, kind
yeah,
of.
100%. And it's like I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. I want someone that I can wake up to, go to sleep with. I want someone that I can fight with, but still
Be able
hold
to-
on. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, know that hey, like this is what's gonna happen. We just need to come to a common understanding because there is no going back from this.
Yeah.
There's no giving up. There's no this. But now people just want to give up. Like I'm not happy, so bam, I'm gonna leave.
Or you guys have the first argument and that's it. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, and I was like that too. I was very like dismissive, and like the minute the fighting started happening, I just wanted to end the
To run
relationship.
away. You're like, okay, that's it. I don't want
Yeah,
to deal with
yeah,
this.
and but now it's just like when you start to understand, like if you want marriage, like you have to have self control. You have to have belief in yourself, belief in the marriage, belief in the person that you married,
Yeah.
and say, hey, like this is the person that I chose, and promise to God that I was going to fight for and keep for the rest of my life. To
Right.
be with that one person, to sleep with this one person for the rest of my life, to share everything with, have kids with, or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I'm not one of those people that believe that marriage is dead in my life. Like I still want that, and I hope that it happens for me. It's
You're
definitely
just looking for that right
yeah,
person
100%,
to, yeah.
100%. Someone that understands, that you know, believes in me, that will through thick and thin, all those things. And it's tough. It's tough out there because, like
Oh,
I said, social media has a big toll on
Influence, yeah,
people's mind
definitely.
about how relationships should be.
Yeah. Or like girls, don't let yourself from guys. Let me be straight up with you though. Like, okay, I agree. Yeah, we should not let ourselves to an extent, but I also feel like us as women also have to kind of listen to the man in a way. I'm not trying to say like, oh, whatever he says that goes, you know, but it does say in the Bible that, you know, women have to listen to men, you know, and the men have to be there to provide for the
Yeah,
woman.
because
So
we're the leaders.
in a way, we do have to kind of like
Obey.
listen to our husbands, you know, and that's, I feel like a lot of women nowadays, like you said, social media has like, oh no, you're a girl, who cares? Do what you want, you know, you're entitled to be free as do whatever you want. But in reality, it's like, no, when you marry somebody, you're you have to act like a married woman. You have to respect that, and a lot of women don't want to do that, and that's where they clash a lot of times. You
I
know,
agree with you
so
100%. 100% with you on that. It's hard. It's very, very hard. People do not understand that it's a sacrifice
oh yeah,
for from yourself,
and
from
from
himself,
yeah,
and together. It is a sacrifice all the way. But some people
yes.
don't want to make that type of commitment.
If you wanna be for the streets, then stay in the
For
streets.
the streets, she belonged to the streets.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, even you, like you carry yourself very well. Like
Thank you.
for being married, obviously, you're not out there too revealing stuff like that. Like you're very reserved for your husband, and
Right.
that's the first thing I noticed about you, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Because Aaron, he's very like you're mine, and he's like he's not possessive, but he's like that right type of manly to the point where he's just like, this is my woman. I'm not gonna let anybody like see her in any way besides what I get to see. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I respect him for that 100%, because Aaron is a prime example of what a man should be in a marriage. Hardworking, loving, caring. It's still goofball, but he still
Yeah.
pisses you off and he still makes you
Yeah.
laugh. But you still look at him sometimes and you're like, I love this man. And that's the way it's supposed to be, because that's the hardest thing, especially after 10 years, is that as you progress, sometimes you just like fall out of love for that person, or you just don't feel the same. But a lot of it has to do with because people stop dating in the relationship.
Oh yeah.
They get comfortable.
They forget.
They forget. They
how
get
to
comfortable
date.
in the lifestyle of marriage, and it's like, okay, we stop going on dates. We stop doing this.
That's one of the biggest things in a relationship. We forget to stop dating, and we make our life more like a routine.
Yeah, because like people get comfortable with the idea of marriage and being, hey, like I have a household now, I have kids, like I'm doing my part and that's it. But like
Yeah.
taking care of that person that you started off your life with
Right.
is so important.
Yes, definitely. It's always very important to make sure that you remind your partner, like, oh, I love you, or just the simplest thing, like even when you go to work, oh, you smell really good, you know, or you look really good. I like that on you.
Not who are you smelling good for?
And no, no, then you're gonna start arguments.
Yeah, no, it's like that though.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's like that.
I play around with Aaron,
Yeah,
like,
right.
damn, why you looking so fine for who? Not for the ladies you be checking out over there, huh? And he's like, shut up.
Is that when he puts on his uniform?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, I'm playing around, but like those little things, I feel like,
It makes it fun.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it builds your partner's self-esteem. Believe it or not, I feel like even guys need a little bit like,
A confidence boost.
yeah, confidence
Oh my
boost
God.
from their
100%,
partner.
100%. I feel like us men become more, what's the word? We become more like, I guess maybe, I don't want to say it's affectionate, but it's like we become more like happy with the person when we get complimented, like
Oh, yeah.
hyped up type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like we have self confidence to a certain extent,
Mm-hmm.
but what the significant other gives us is what completes the rest of it. And
Yes,
it's a good
that's
feeling,
true.
because you know that person's like so attracted to you.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, I want to
Yeah.
look good. I want to smell good for her or for him,
Yeah.
So,
Do you and Aaron still go out on dates?
yeah, we actually wouldn't, believe it or not, I think we go on out on dates more now than we did when we didn't have really kids. I mean, we did enjoy each other's company all the time, and we would go out, but I feel like now it's like we make it more of a priority instead of like, oh, okay, But yeah,
Yeah.
we do go out on dates. This Friday we're going to a concert, so like it's just me and him, gonna have fun, no kids.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah.
good. That's really good. And see, that's 10 years strong. That's what it means right there. You guys are doing more than you guys were doing before you guys had kids, and usually it's the opposite.
Yeah,
You
do
live
more.
your life before the kids, and then your kids, you just get comfortable. You start doing, just the basic stuff, and just always at home. Monday through Friday are like a simple routine, and then
The
weekends
same
are just
thing over,
same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And then I noticed that you guys go out and you guys do stuff like take the kids out to the park together, go out for walks, and then you guys still have ways to go to the gym together sometimes, right?
Yeah. Oh, going to the gym is probably one of my favorite things to do.
With
Like,
Aaron specifically, or just the just the
no,
gym?
with Aaron. Yeah, with Aaron. Like, that way, like, we both work out each other. We're helping each other. Like, I tell him, okay, can you do more? Okay, are you gonna squat more? Like,
Yeah,
I
just
try to
push
help
them.
him out
Yeah.
right there. So,
And
and he pushes me, so
do
it's
you
fun.
try to do like home workouts when you get the chance?
Oh yeah, I
It's
work
hard
out
though, huh?
here, but it is hard.
It's so
I either have to
unmotivating.
wake
It's
up
so unmotivating.
early when the kids are not awake, or like wait till Aaron sometimes comes, and if we're not going to the gym, then I work out. But sometimes it's even hard when he's here. Like they're both acting crazy. You saw it, so and it's like,
And even Aaron acts crazy too.
yeah, sometimes
3 kids.
3 kids.
Man, that's crazy. And it's crazy to have known you as long as I've known you since middle school, and then
So
like
so much different,
and
huh?
yeah, and then like you disappear
Yeah.
for years, and then I see you run into you again. Was it because of social media?
I think
Because I
so.
remember you were telling me that your husband was trying to get into it with me with like the fitness stuff that I was doing.
Yeah, I think it was social media, and then one day, well, we've been following each other for a while, but then I think you posted something, and I told Aaron, "Oh, look, like this is my friend Mark. He works out too." And then I was surprised Aaron didn't like act like jealous or anything, like, "Oh, who's that buff guy?" or something. So he's like, "Oh, he looks good." Like he even complimented me. I'm like, "Yeah, he works out." And he's like, "Oh, maybe I should ask for pointers, like how to look good, and built." So then that's when he's like, "Hey, let me message him and tell him." And I'm like, "Okay." And I think I messaged you, "Hey, my husband's gonna message you and tell
Yeah,
you."
but he never did though. I don't think he ever did. I remember.
Oh, he was going
We
to.
ran into you. I ran into you guys at Denny's, and
Denny's,
that's when he fell in
yes.
love with me for
Yeah,
the
he
first
was like,
time.
I'm like, "Oh, Mark's right there," and then he's like, "He is," like his eyes got like all back, and I'm like, "Yeah," and I think that's when he said, "Hi, hey, man."
Yeah, that was cool because I mean, from that time, like we all got really close to each other, and it was cool because like I said, Aaron's a great guy and everything. Um, but yeah, I mean, you've changed a lot too, so that's a great. I mean, not even just appearance, but your personality. Because back then when I first met you, you were super skinny. You
Oh
were probably
yeah,
like 70 pounds, like
probably 70
skin and
around
bone.
7. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
very
you're really
skinny.
skinny, but
I had no butt, so I built this. Okay, no BBL over here.
there you go. Yeah, so it's good that we got to see each other grow. But the thing is, like you got married and you got all these things, and you did a lot of things that you should be doing in life. And I feel like we all have a purpose in life.
Yes.
I know mine are to be a father, check, and then to one day be a husband. I feel like those are my two purposes. Because I mean, I felt like all the mistakes that I did, all the bad things that I did, all the cheating, and all the stuff that I did, I needed to do it back then to be the person I am now.
Yeah, you obviously grow from it, you know?
Yeah, and then that way, all those mistakes I did are now just mistakes learned, lessons learned, and I can apply those things to my future. And instead of going through the stuff now and doing all those bad things at 28,
Yeah.
setting myself up for more failure to be less likely to get married in the future.
Yes,
You know what I mean? So
definitely.
I'm grateful for it. But it's been a hell of a fucking ride for the both of us, especially the stuff that you've been through with your family, the loss of your brother,
Yeah.
Your family drama, and then Aaron's family drama, because now that becomes your drama as well too.
Yeah,
And
we
then
all
my
become
family,
one.
yeah, my family drama, all the stuff that I've been through, and it's
It's a lot. I feel like sometimes it's very hard.
but we're still here smiling, and we're still here doing
Yeah.
things that we love, and I think that's the most important thing. You're just kind of have one up on me. You're married. I'm jealous, but no, I'm happy for you guys. I look up to you guys in your guys' marriage. You guys are definitely a good example to feed off of, and I hope that when I get married, that's something that I'm gonna be able to say, hey, look, I'm gonna look at them too. This is how I want to be, because this, look, although they fight, although they whatever, they're still very happy. They still do things they want to do, and they're just overall happy. Now, so what I'm going to ask you, V, is for all the people that are out there that are in a long relationship or in a new relationship or that talk about wanting to get married, what's the best advice you can give to them for a healthy, happy marriage? Because, I mean, it's not always going to be happy, but there's ways to keep it happy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you first experience to see that. So what's the best advice you can give them?
Well, like I said, communication is very important. Always like if there's something that you don't like or that you just don't agree, let your partner know. It's not always like, oh, they're gonna get mad or anything. They a lot of times like they be like, okay, so she doesn't want me to do this, I won't do it, okay? Or let's see how we can come together and make it different, you know? So always speak what's on your mind. I mean, don't be rude or anything, you know? Be cautious of your partner's feelings, and don't forget to like keep going out, having fun times with your partner. I know sometimes having kids is hard, and you're like, okay, where am I gonna find time to do it? But even then, like, put them to sleep, even watching a movie
Yeah.
late, staying up a little bit, or sitting down talking or whatever, like, you know, that's what makes it, you know, you're spending that quality time with your partner. And it don't forget that, because we live in this fast paced life that you're like, okay, we gotta wake up, we gotta get the kids ready, go to work, do this, and then come back, do this and that, and
Just
you
becomes a
just,
routine.
yeah, you just make it a routine. You don't realize like, oh shoot, I'm not giving that love or that relationship with my partner. So don't make it a routine. Always make it, you know, where you guys have dates, you go out, even if just to get a coffee.
Be spontaneous with
Yeah,
it.
even
Yeah.
going working out,
Yeah.
that's your alone
That's
time, you
great.
know.
Yeah, that's great.
So
That's
don't
great.
forget that. Don't make it a routine.
Okay, that's awesome. I mean, like I said, I look up to you guys. You guys are a good example in a marriage, especially in this day and age, in our age, because it's like
Yeah.
I know people get married still, but I don't really see it too often. I don't.
Honestly, yeah,
I don't see it
I
too
don't see it
often.
either.
You know what I mean? And I see more people having kids than I do marriage or long-term commitments and stuff like that.
Living together for so many years, and
Yeah, cause
some people are scared to commit. Like, oh, what
yeah,
if I get married and then we divorce? Or I've heard a couple people.
yeah, it's a scary. But so when you're already thinking about divorce before a marriage,
I
you're
feel
kind of
like you're
already setting
setting
yourself
yourself.
up to fail already. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it's concerned, it's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
you know that's the risk of marriage. The beauty of marriage is to fall in love with the partner and to spend the rest of your life with them to share everything, that unification, the bond, the growth, the kids, the life, the cars, the house, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, divorce does happen, but there's ways to save it, there's ways to stop it. And not every situation that you come across is going to lead to divorce. It's just communication, effort,
Yes.
sacrifice, and understanding. When you understand your partner, it makes things easier. You know what
Yes,
I mean? When you
definitely.
listen, when you communicate, when you still love and all that stuff. But you know, things do happen where you can fall out of love, and
Yeah,
you know,
it happens to everybody. It can happen to anyone. I mean, like I said, no couple is perfect. Sometimes you go through hard times. Me and Aaron had our rough times where we even thought about divorcing before we had the kids. But I think like we needed to go through that in order for us to realize like, hey, okay, we're good. Because now I think about it, I'm like, damn, I wanted kids back then. But in reality, if I would have had kids back then, maybe me and Aaron wouldn't be together right now. We probably would have been
yeah,
divorced
because there would have
and
been a lot of
have to
fighting.
go
Because you
parenting.
guys were fighting a lot
Yeah.
then, and then with kids, it would have just elevated it more.
Yeah, way
Yeah,
more, you know?
for sure.
So just,
But everything happens for a reason. You know,
yes,
God brings
everything
these
happens for a
situations to
reason.
your guys' life for a reason. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, when you were trying to have kids, He was telling you guys it wasn't time. I'll let you know when it's time. And then when it's time, now you guys are in a good place. You guys have a
Yes.
beautiful home. You guys have a beautiful family, beautiful kids, a beautiful relationship. And that was all within time, with patience. I
The
feel like
patience.
patience was the biggest thing for you
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
And once you guys got past that, there was a high reward that was
Mm-hmm.
given to you guys. And that's the life that you guys have right now. Give or take,
Yes.
you know, everything's really uh, expensive to live here in California, but
Yeah.
you guys are making it and you guys are making it happen and surviving, and that's the most important part. So,
Yes.
V, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being on my podcast. You have been amazing. I have
Thank you.
nothing but love for you and Aaron. You guys are a amazing couple, a beautiful family, and I look up to you guys in every single way. You are going to accomplish a lot of things. I have nothing bad to say about you. You have done so much and you've been through so much, and you are the person you are right now, smiling, vlogging, being a wonderful mother, being a great wife. And that is the example that women should really feed off of. You are a prime example for it, and I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, and I hope you and Aaron are together for the rest of your guys' life and find nothing but success in your guys' marriage and life. Is there anything else that you want to say?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for having me here today. Taking the day to, like, this time out of your day to have me here. I really appreciate you. We have nothing but love for you too, and we're always gonna be here. And don't forget to follow him, you guys.
Well, there you guys have it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on my YouTube channel, Wortrh Talk Podcast. I appreciate you guys so much for listening and watching my podcast and kind of giving your guys' feedback on things that are important to you guys as far as the topics that I talk about. In my comments, in my DMs, you guys have been awesome communicating with me about your guys' personal opinions. And that's all I want is that dialogue between each other. You know, no shaming on anything that we talk about, just positive vibes and just, you know, obviously opinions that we are allowed to have and share. So that's it for you guys tonight. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I know I already said that, but it's so
Okay,
crucial on you
never
guys.
too late
It's never
to
too
do
late to
that.
do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for now, this is it. Thanks, you guys.
Bye.